Okay, this is Steve Price with the SRP channel, doing a little landscape lighting job here, which is primarily one of the things I do quite a bit of in my business. This is one from, I'm actually designed the layout, which is pretty simple, but I planned the layout for them. They didn't have any existing landscape lighting except for the solar ones, which do even the solar ones are pretty unreliable. Then you add being in the shade, like this place is from this beautiful Shumard oak tree. Just get some really nice light. So she was pitch dark in her yard. No street lights anywhere around. So that's something you need to consider too, is any ambient light from street fixtures. But she didn't even have that. It was pitch dark. So it's kind of a good starting point too. So, and we have a dead post lamp here, an old gas post lamp right here. So, and I'm actually going to convert that part of what I'm doing here to 12 volts. And I have the fixture. I actually bought the fixture from Home Depot. It's just a standard E26 base bulb, which that means just a standard light bulb. And so, but you have the 12 volt versions of those. So I'm gonna actually make this post lamp into low voltage, and that way it can be part of the lighting system. And that's a whole lot cheaper than running 120 volts out to this, or trying to resurrect it to gas. It's almost impossible to do these as gas anymore. These little mantles up there are really hard to get. I tried years ago to do one of mine over here. So, but it's cool if you can do it, but there's probably a little 1/4 inch gas line coming up here. So I'm going to try to make sure I can find where that terminates and turn it off. So, but one thing we're going to do here is on this path right here, sidewalk, you can see the house, perfect for landscape lighting. Another huge tree, another Shumard oak, it looks like. Is that Shumard or live oak? One or the other. I think it's a Shumard, can't tell. But anyways, I'm an electrician, not an arborist, damn it. So anyways, I get off track. So on the sidewalk, I'd recommended to her pathway lights, and alternating, just 3 taller pathway lights, and one on this side, and then one over here. You might not be able to see, have a little rod driven in. That's about 1/3 the way in here on each side. This one's about halfway here. So, and then also I recommended getting 2 little fixtures on her post here. So main reason being steps, obviously. So we have 2 steps that were totally dark. So this would I'm gonna mount 2 low voltage fixtures right here on each one of them. That's going to be trickier. I'm actually going to go up, I'm going to draw up through this beam post, and then run the wire up the back of it. And so probably what I'm going to do here, I should have had the light on. I always have lighting issues, so get used to my dark videos. But I was going to come out the back of this and then have the wire hidden, and kind of like a phone line, and staple it up in the corners. But the attic is actually pretty accessible, so I'm going to try to actually get it to maybe run up inside the attic, and then what I'll have to do is get a line down and run it somewhere down to where I can get to my transformer, which is going to be mounted over here. So that's kind of going to be the challenging part, because if I come down with the wire, then you'd have to go over the tile on top with the wire, which would be more challenging, unless I No, you'll want to come over there. So I think still behind it, trying to go up to the attic, or hiding it up in the little eave here. So, but that is the plan. And then also, there's a large crepe myrtle here, and then one you can't see on the other side of the house. And we're going to uplight that with a FX luminaire fixture here. These are awesome. These are not integrated LEDs. These are take a MR16. Back in the day, we'd put halogens in these bad boys. So they had to be built like tanks because they were holding the heat of halogens. So they're still built like tanks. But when I say tanks, I mean like really good quality materials, because the baking of the the halogen lamp and a fixture. So one reason too used to be everybody would put like timers on their transformers, and then just run them at a few hours at night, because of the life expectancy of the halogens and how the wear and tear on the fixtures. But so now we always just do photocells on here. So photocells on the transformer, so it just stays on all night. So because they're so efficient now with LEDs, you don't have to worry about saving the fixture from heat. So it's just as easy to run them all night long. So that's a good thing on those. So, and also the only other brand stuff I have is FX Luminaire, but I'm actually using for the first time this Kichler pathway light, and I really like it. So this is a taller one. This is 18-inch. I like to get the pathway lights taller to give you more options on lighting, but this one's kind of a bronze finish. But it's a cast aluminum fixture, really good quality, machine threads, everything's very good quality. So this cap actually screws off here, but you can actually screw off this cap here to get to the lamp. And this is not an integrated. They make these integrated also. I prefer to always not do integrated, because you can put more flexible, different light lamps when they're not integrated. So if it's not bright enough for the customer, or it's too bright, you just swap out the lamps here, something less bright. So, and I think most landscape installers are that way. So FX Luminaire, when they first started their fixtures, like their pathway lights, they said at first that they're only going to have integrated LEDs. Integrated meaning the transformers part of the fixture. So which it seems like, oh, that's good. It seems simpler that way, but the problem is, if that fixture fails, or there's a problem with it, even being a good quality fixture, then you have to replace the whole fixture or the really expensive part. Also, too, if the amount of light was not what you wanted, or the color, of the light, you're kind of stuck with it. So I think FX Luminaire on the pathway lights kind of pulled back on that a little bit, and so now they're offering integrated LEDs, and also like this Kichler fixture, non-integrated. And this is a really cool fixture here. This is what's going to go on my post that I explained over there. This is the only second time I've put these in. This is also an FX Luminaire. And I say also, it's the same brand as the spots here. Yeah, you can kind of see here. So FX Luminaire rocks. It's a great brand. So this is like a solid cast copper. I mean, it's a really heavy little fixture. It weren't cheap. I think these were almost 250 with the lamp. Um, so they're fairly expensive, um, but they're really cool and they'll last forever. And it's actually a bayonet style lamp too. You can see that. So that's when I say bayonet, that's like the style you'd have in a car light fixture. Um, so that's good. I think that's probably more reliable than the little MR16 ones here that slide in. So yeah, so these are just the little lamps for the walkway light. Those are 2 watt here, 3K, 250 lumens, and a 90 plus CRI, color rendering index. All the EA Emery Allen stuff is really good quality. Great LED company for retrofitting stuff. I've used in the past. The only time I've had one of these fail, one of these Emery Allen lamps, is when it was in a fixture that actually shorted out, and that's the only thing that kills those. And so this is the Emery Allen. This is the MR16. Now I usually use Brilliance brand for the little spot fixtures here, but I did this time. I did a Emery Allen brand because I wanted a brighter light. So on these crepe myrtles, so this is a 7 watt, 36 degree, 3K, so 500 lumen. So that's really bright for these. So that crepe myrtle there, that's probably at least a 20-foot crepe myrtle. And I'm gonna put one. It's the same with the other one on the other side of the house. So I'm gonna put one here, just one fixture, and then really light up inside it. And, you really don't need multiple. Just get one per tree. And the same with the other one, which I think is even bigger. And the other one is further back on the house over here. So I like doing that because it kind of gives you a little depth, some depth to the landscape lighting. There's not going to be anything over here right now. So that gives kind of some light over there. So she wants to add some stuff later. But that will be later on. She wants to see how this light is, how much it puts out, and then put some more in the back and maybe around these little walkway areas here. So, and maybe uplight the house. You can do like the corners of the house with these RS FX fixtures I was telling you about. You get something real subtle on the corners of homes, and kind of light up in the eave. You just want something, subtle, not bright. About a 10 to 20 watt equivalent. Maybe, gosh, like 150, even 100 lumens if you can get that low on LEDs. Is really kind of the way to go sometimes. One of the problems now is with LEDs is finding them where they're not too bright because they're become so easy or inexpensive to make. So everybody wants more and more and more, but and they're dimmable too. But if you put dimmers on landscape light, there's one more thing that could fail. So and this is the transformer I'm using, the good old Acme buck boost transformer. I think this is about a couple hundred, about 200-ish or a little under. So this is for LEDs. This is probably considered a large transformer. So you can kind of just do basic math with this. These are a 2 watt of these. So if you have 10 of them, 20 watts. So it's basic math on that. So you can see you'd have to have a whole lot of lighting to max this out. This here maybe will come to 30, 40 watts used on this transformer. But you always tell the customer the initial install on the stuff is a little more, but this is the 250 watt. if she does lighting in the back too, I would run a wire either like through her crawl space or around the house. You could even do, it's a small enough house, and and put it on that same transformer, so it all comes on with one photocell, which the photocell would be mounted here to the side of this. So, and I already have the brick penetration that I did. So, but I think that is it. Okay, this is what I did yesterday. Was I added power from I added power, not power, power. It's a PAR, power. Sorry, I added from a outlet on the other side, and just drilled through the brick, and then got power from it on the outlet. You really don't have to worry. The load is so low on these lights. You can tie into an existing light fixture. It's not going to be any problem on that. So I did have to replace the box on that. So, but you can see. So on here, I usually just silicone around it. It depends on each scenario. On this one, I just shot the silicone actually up in here, and it's really full back there. So I'll leave this not siliconed. This actually was quite a bit going up inside the brick there. But yeah, and this is just 14 gauge wire, and that's actually hot right now. So then I'll come off, go about to mount the transformer, and then I'll put the photocell actually on the transformer. Okay, so the second thing this video, besides the transformer, is if you notice we got a transformer on that side of the house, landscaping on this side, patio, sidewalk, solid sidewalk. So, and then we got to get power to that tree and that fixture right there. So there's usually a number of ways. Sometimes if you can get an expansion joint along here, that one has concrete in it. I might be able to get it on that one. Here, this is very all tidied up. Sometimes you can get the wire fed up, hidden through there to get it across. But so if you can't get under and through an expansion joint, then two things: you can go under the sidewalk, pound a little conduit under the sidewalk, or get in the crawl space. So this house is older; it does have a crawl space, and that seems like an inconvenient, but when you're talking about pounding under the sidewalk, sometimes going under the crawl space is pretty easy. That you just come out over here with the wire, just have like a little 3/4 inch hole, and then come out with like seal tight and go up underground. So okay, so when prepping the buck boost, so what I'm looking for as far as knockouts, I'm going to do the two bottom ones. So this one here will be the power in from the junction box in the house. Then this one will actually be the conduit for low voltage feed, coming straight from the ground, and I'll put the photocell on that side. So I like to put the photocell actually on this, because it'll be off to the side as opposed to on the box over there that will stick out. So if it comes out to the side, it's going to be better protected. So that's just what as far as on a buck boost. So you could do it different ways. You could get like what's called like a little offset and then come into the side. That might look better, but I don't have any offsets, so I'm going to use seal tight here and then loop down from the box, and then come back up. Okay, so this is something frustrating that happens to electricians, actually anybody that's dealing with this kind of stuff. So this is what's called, this is the knockout, and it's the pre-stamped there. And then so you always want to start trying to open it up here, not where the little seam is. Like don't pound on it here, but pound on it where there's no little seam, which you do here, then here, and it's not really machined that well because it's really on there good. And so when you try to do it, that piece bends down. It shouldn't really do that. It should break in enough to be able to pop it off. So I'm actually going to unscrew this and then pop off the knockouts off of the deal so I don't bend it up anymore. Okay, so when they don't do the little knockouts correctly, this is the pain in the butt it becomes, because on a panel or anything else that's stuck somewhere, you can like get a drill them out or pound them out. When it's thinner gauge metal, you can't really do that. So this is what I had to do to get this to drill out. So I actually got a 2x4, etched it out with my multi-tool so that piece could sit flat there. And so what I'm going to do now with my big ass drill here and this unibit is start drilling out the hole here. So that's a real pain in the ass. So that's why it takes me 45 minutes more. So and I'm used to doing it, so that's quick. So if someone else that's not used to this show, that it's going to take be quite a bit more of a pain in the ass. So that's why I showed you this part. So this is just how you can deal with things like that. You just have to be a little resourceful. Okay, so I'm getting the pathway fixtures kind of pounded in here. So this is black clay soil here. So any soil like I got my shovel, my sharpshooter here, and broke up the soil before, because it's really, you can't just pound one of these in. This soil is kind of dampish, and that helps. Sometimes I have this ground rod, and sometimes I can pound that in the ground about a foot or so, wiggle it around, pull it back out, and that's a good way to start these. But so, and also I did pound it. These come separate, come off. So I pounded the base by itself with a 2x4 baby sledgehammer, and did that first, and then screwed the post in. That was the easy way to do these. This is a really good flat base, so it was very bueno for that. So that worked very good and well. So this is a very good and well way to put these fixtures. Okay, so I put the lamps in, and so before I put them in, I dabbed just a little bit of electrical pookie dielectric grease. The technical name is Pookie, electrical Pookie. The trade name I think would be dielectric grease, but Pookie, it's definitely Pookie, because if you get it on your hands, it's pretty nasty stuff. It's the same thing you're going to use on like auto lamps, light bulbs, just to kind of help the connection. But I am about to dab some on there, but I wanted to show you too on these EA lamps. This is almost a $30 lamp, but that is a solid porcelain base on that. That's a really heavy lamp, which is really good. The porcelain actually dissipates heat better than plastic, and it actually costs more, obviously, to make. Actually, that wouldn't be an obvious thing, so it wouldn't be obvious plastics. It's actually, there's really good quality plastics out there too. I'm sure it could hold up, but the main thing with the porcelain is dissipating heat, I think. So, and so, the LEDs are cool, but there's little power, electronic components, tiny ones in here that overheat too. And the better they can dissipate the heat, and the better components, the better they'll last. So there's no reason really these should last 10 to 20 years. That's what I was telling the customer. So and I just dab a little bit of the little dielectric grease, not much, and it just helps keep a good connection. That is it. Over and out. Okay, so in the back corner here, we have a crepe myrtle, and there's actually another pretty significant one in front of it, but we're gonna go the one very back just to bring the light as far back as possible. Gives kind of more depth to the yard. And they're gonna be adding some here too, but so I got this fixture placed about 3 to 4 feet. There's not exact science to this. The way I like to light these is depending on how big it is, it's about a 30-degree light bulb. That would be like a medium flood, not wide. Wide's going to be 50 to 60 degree. She might want that, but we'll start with the more narrow because look how big this is. I mean, that has got to be about 30 feet up there. Just beautiful bark. So I think just one really lit up really well, and that 30-degree flood will get the light pushed up and there even further. So that's the science, if there is any to it. Yeah, and when you're placing it too, you can look at like big branches. On if you can get between like a branch like this and that, and kind of shine it up is good. You know, if you're hitting this branch and it's like a main branch on the crepe myrtle or any tree, that's going to shadow significantly behind that. So that's kind of how you think. It's not rocket science by any means, and that's the beauty of these fixtures is they're low voltage, so you can get out here, pick it up, move it around. It's 12 volts. It's easy for the customer to service these too. That's another thing too. These are expensive fixtures, but you know, it's something that the homeowner can work on themselves. And that's always a good thing, I guess. Okay, so here we are the next day. I ran some of the lights last night. She was very pleased with the amount of light they put out. Not too much on there, which is good. Like the crepe myrtle lighting. So now we're going to start on installing the little sconces on the post, and I'll get some blue tape and kind of set it up here, kind of get an idea. I want to make sure that on the fixture that you don't see the light bulb up inside it as you walk up on it. That's the main thing. Then we'll drill through the post and then get it to mounting all this lovely stuff. So okay, so I got these in kind of a test mode still. About to get a lunch. Not that y'all give a crap or shit that I'm gonna go eat, but I am, because I turn into a moody bitch if I don't eat. So I got these mounted. That went better than I thought. Here's the fixture without the cover, and so I was able to actually make the wire splice up inside the fixture, which is good because then I can run the bell wire out the back here and I'm using bell wire just because it has the brown sheathing, and same here. And this one's a little bit longer. I'm gonna come over and then splice into this one right here, and then get the power over there. So I think that should work well. I did have these long bits that it's like a 3/8. Let's see, that's probably a 1-footer. No longer, but I have a couple of those longer bits you really need. That helped. This is the bell wire I'm using, so it has the sheathing on it, which is good. So that is it. And I did come by this morning, and the lights were not on, so it's overcast. So the photocell's really good. It didn't stay on too late. Sometimes photocells will stay on when it's overcast. These tend to really work work good over here. So okay, it's kind of been a rainy mess, I'll admit it. I've been changing shoes. This is my dry pair, but I did get this up the pole. Got the old fixture, gas terminated, which was actually no gas in the line, but that's a fixture I used to test it. That's a little keyhole fixture. So that bulb came on. Got that buried here. Got that wire going up into the pipe in 1/2-inch flex. Coming over to this fixture. I'm using 12 gauge wire on this home run, and then 14 gauge on everything else. But this home run here, I did 12 gauge here, so it's kind of overkill, but it gives a little more beefiness. And I tried to actually hose down this sidewalk. That black clay just gets all messy. So, but I'm wiring these bad boys up right now. So you can kind of see here, I got the bell wires kind of stapled up, and I'm just using my staple gun on that, and then I'm going to use little butt splice connectors, and then connect over here, and then come down this side of the post and go through the tile to the and tie into the home run that's feeding over to the existing transformer. That's the plan. Okay, this got these all wired up here. I'm really pleased. Homeowner, she really likes them. Thrilled to death with them. So yeah, those are just perfect. Then they're lighting the steps right there. Not quite totally dark, but pretty close. Very pleased. She likes the color of this, and that will be the light bulb in the fixture that I'm getting tomorrow. It should be actually delivered to Home Depot today. So I'm gonna come back out tomorrow and put that in, and then finish burying the wires on the other side. Got a little open junction here, but overall very pleased with the landscape lighting job. Okay, so you notice the front of the house over here. That's the walkway here. Then we have that crepe myrtle there. Two little fixtures, and then I have one very far back. I have this crepe myrtle lit, and to get the furthest one, I like doing that. It kind of gives a little depth to the lighting. This is like a perfect specimen of a crepe myrtle. It's got to be at least 30 feet. I mean, it looks like it's just been taken care of its whole life. It's never been lopped off, crepe murdered. Just really healthy. This one's really nice here too. This one's kind of treed almost to a single stump. That's kind of interesting. So, okay, so kind of wrapping the video up. This is a really cool fixture. Hope y'all like it. Kind of a low budget type thing. Kind of swinging around here for no reason. But so no, I was the fixture I ordered was delayed. Or actually, I just messed up, and it's gonna actually be here Monday. So I have this little temporary socket here until I get it in the next couple days. So I'm gonna just leave that like that, and I have the photocell covered. That's why these are on right now, but you could leave that there like that. Pretty cool. But but now remember, so this is all 12 volt now, so this is not a hazard. So I got 12 volts running through up to this fixture. There's no way you get shocked off that, so you're very safe. That's why I have it like that. Otherwise, you wouldn't want to mess with that, because then this pole could become energized. and I kind of rushed this part yesterday because it was raining. But I just took a 1/2 inch Siltite and ran it up inside there, and I used my Unibit hole saw to cut that out. So, but anyways, the customer was very pleased with everything, so that's good. So, and our power supplies right over here. I'm gonna actually come back when I do that fixture, and then finish burying all the wires here. But you know, as I said before, it's all low voltage stuff, so there's no hazard to it. So, but I hope this video was helpful. The reason I'm showing my van is I have some videos about my van already on YouTube, as far as the setup, the accessibility, all my little bends. You know, I'm an electrical contractor, and so and I work by myself, and so I try to optimize my van for working with all that stuff. And also, I'm very into audio. Anything I have, I always put a system in, and so I've slowly been building this one in the van, and I'll be doing a video about that too. That's why my door panel is out here. I have the cables ran. I've pulled the head unit out before. I have cables behind it. I have an Alpine head unit I'm going to put in, and Focali speakers. Not Focal, but I think they're called Focali speakers. So I've never had the Focals before, but so, and this dual cone cloth or paper bag boy will be gone, unfortunately. But look out for videos like that. I'm working on it now. It takes me a long time to get videos out because editing takes me a while. So, but if you're interested in that, it'll be everything I did as far as getting all the wiring ready. So, but please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments before. And I always try to leave links on products to everything on my videos that I do. So I'll try to do that as far as where I got my fixtures. I actually got them at Landscape Lighting Supply, which is in Richardson, yeah, Texas. It's not in Dallas, but it's right off 75. So, but they have great products, very competitive pricing, and you can go in there and they'll actually, help you out picking out fixtures. So I'll leave the link to their information below. Thank you for watching the video. Bye-bye.